Hutchinson's Antigua Limited has a range of products to suit your every need. We are wholesale distributors of top quality brands. Use Beep, Shortox, Airwick, and Lysol products to make your home clean, sparkling, and germ-free. Keep your dogs happy and healthy with Pedigree Dog Food. Hutchinson's Antigua Limited is located on Factory Road, St. John's. Visit or call us today at telephone 481-1550.
Hutchinson's is the proud sponsor of Chefs of Antigua.
Sing along now, my, what's cooking Antigua? What's cooking Barbuda?
Food and family are a big part of Chef Nicole Dennis's life. She's well known for her Caribbean cooking classes, and her cooking style is Caribbean influences, but always with a very interesting twist. For Chef Nicole, good living means good food, good wine, good company, and a lazy sunset. Today she's cooking with rum. Chef Nicole's in the house.
I'm Nicole, and this is Kim Lund, visiting us from Denmark, Sun Creek. Today we're cooking with rum, and we are going to do rum marinated steak, plantains wrapped in bacon, sweet potato soup with coconut, and bread pudding. And Kim is going to teach us how to do a double chocolate cookie with black currant.
Exactly.
So, stay tuned.
If I should introduce the ingredients for the blackcurrant cookies, it would be salt, baking powder, some cocoa powder, some sugar syrup, vanilla paste, white flour, sugar, butter, water, chocolate, and of course some quick blackcurrant. This is actually very simple to make because you can make it all in more or less one step. So I'm just going to add all the ingredients to the mixer right away. I'm going to add salt, baking powder, cocoa powder, just a standard cocoa powder, add some butter, some sugar. It doesn't have to be, brown sugar or anything, just a plain, standard, granulated white sugar, white flour, so I'm going to add a little bit of sugar syrup. I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons. And a little bit of vanilla paste. Oops. A bit too much perhaps. You can also, instead of vanilla paste, you can also use vanilla pots. It doesn't really matter as long as you add a little bit of vanilla taste into it. Finally, I'm going to add a little bit of chocolate. I'm using a solid chocolate. You can also use, chocolate chips or chocolate chunks. Whatever suits you. Of course, it's a little easier to add chocolate chips, but I prefer to use a solid chocolate block like this. This is a bittersweet chocolate. You can use whatever chocolate you like. I prefer to add a bittersweet chocolate because it adds a little bit of bitterness to your cake, because your cake will normally be very sweet. So if you add a bitter chocolate, it will complement the sweetness very well. So I'm just going to chop it a little bit. So here you are. A little bit of water, just about a quarter of a cup of water. And finally, of course, the Sunquick. Today I'm using the Sunquick Blackcurrant. You can also, if you like to, use a Sunquick Orange, for instance. I think that the blackcurrant goes very well with the chocolate. But again, if you prefer to use a Sunquick orange, you can go with that. I'm going to add 6 tablespoons. So, here we are. And now all we need to do is mix this. The mixing time here would be around 5 minutes or so, that depends. If you have got a very soft butter, the mixing time will be reduced. If you have got a very hard butter, you will have to mix it a little longer. So, now it's been mixed. Take it off. So, here you are. Going to put it out on the table, just like this. I'm going to add a little bit of white flour to the table, not too much, just a little bit to prevent it from getting stuck to the table, so that I'm capable of cutting it. So, just like this. Then I'm going to put it on a tray with baking paper. If you want this to be even more solid than it is, you can put this in a refrigerator for about half an hour, or even a freezer if you want it to go even faster. Today I'm just going to cut it, but if you want it more solid, put it in the fridge for about half an hour. Of course, you can choose to make these whatever size you prefer. I prefer to make them this size because I like them to be, you know, big. You can also make them very small. You can even, if you have, you know, a tray for muffins, you can use the same tray and you can just put them in small paper cups or whatever you like. Sorry, if you think they're too thin, remove them. You can always, you know, roll them again. So I'm just going to, you know, squeeze them a little bit, make them a little more round. So, this is it. Now all they have to do is to go into the oven and bake for about 12 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius, which is about 375. Just to show you, I have made some in different sizes. You can also use some cutting tools. You can take some of the dough and roll it out with a rolling pin and make different shapes and everything. The dough is not very greasy and it's very easy to play with. So you can use it for whatever shape you like actually. You can also make the dough in advance if you want to. If you know that you have guests coming up in a few days, then you can make the dough and freeze it. Just make sure that it's wrapped and then put it in the freezer. Then take it out of the freezer and you can more or less cut it directly and bake them in a pre-baked oven at 370.
So you can bake it when the dough's, put it in the oven when the dough's still frozen?
Yes, you can.
And then
no problem.
Other flavors, if you were not to use blackcurrant?
If you were not to use blackcurrant, you can use other flavors as well. I would prefer to use, for instance, an orange flavor, or perhaps you can use a mandarin flavor, or whatever flavor you prefer actually.
Okay.
Hello, I am Jacqueline Johnson, the wedding guru of MaryCaribbean.com.
Want to know the best hotel, the best destination, the best service providers in the industry, the best shopping experience? From Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Tobago, the British Virgin Islands, and the United States Virgin Islands.
MaryCaribbean.com.
My family security is very important to me. That's why I insure.
My son's safety is very important to me. That's why I insure.
I want quick, prompt, and courteous service. That's why I choose General Insurance. Why don't you feel secure and insure?
Feel secure, insure with General Insurance.
Chef's World is dedicated to all those who love to cook. We have kitchen gadgets, professional ranges, refrigerators, chef's uniform, glassware and plateware. Visit Chef's World. We're located at Gamble's Medical Center, Friars Hill Road. Chefs of Antigua use Sunquick.
Our local dessert for the day is going to be bread pudding with a butter and sauce with a Sunquick guava strawberry. I have a baguette that we cut up in crouton size and tossed with butter. And I've made a custard with egg, sugar, and milk. And we're going to pour it on the baguette and add rum-soaked raisins. Kim's gonna do the butter rum sauce with the Sunquick. And so he's gonna start caramelizing the butter and the sugar and then add the rum. So if you wanna head it,
I'll be doing that while you do the bread pudding.
So I've added the bread to a buttered dish. And we're going to stick it in the oven at 350 in a water bath for 20 minutes.
Why do you put it in a water bath, Nicole?
Usually when you're cooking eggs in a custard, it's better to use a water bath so that the eggs don't curdle. And you have more of a moist heat instead of a dry heat.
I've added the butter to the sugar, so now I'm going to melt the butter into the sugar. Once this is melted, I'll add the rum, and finally I'll add the Sunquick pink guava and strawberry. And hopefully this will make a very tasty butter rum guava strawberry sauce. Now I'm going to add the rum. About 5 spoons. And then it should be it. It's good, as we would say in Denmark. Det ser fint ud. Den er lige som den skal være.
Okay, so. Good, that's good. Our starter today is going to be sweet potato soup with coconut milk. And while that's cooking, we're going to wrap some plantains in bacon and stick them in the oven, as well as some coconut chips. So, who wants to do the sautéing? We need to sauté some onions and seasoned pepper. And we're going to add the potato. Okay, come on. This is Anna Mitchell, owner of Hemingway's, one of my favorite restaurants in town. Somebody's here sponsoring me now. She's going to do. Okay, so we're going to bring the pot up in temperature. We're going to saute onions with garlic and seasoned pepper. Add the sweet potato, and then we're going to cook it in a combination of coconut milk and chicken stock.
So I'm going to learn a nice Antiguan dish.
There you go. Well, that's my take on it. But just every time you go to a restaurant, you always get pumpkin soup, and so this is another version that you can use, like a good West Indian. Can you use that? So we're using local sweet potato that's already peeled and diced. We cracked, bust dried coconut and use the carrot peeler to make shreds. And we're going to salt it and stick it in the oven for about 20 minutes for coconut chips. It's great as a snack, or you can either use it on a garnish on the soup. When the onions become translucent, then we're going to add turmeric, which will add a little bit of color and flavor to the soup, and then we're going to add white pepper.
And Nicole, what's the difference between white pepper and black pepper in terms of what it brings out in the dish?
White pepper is a little more subtle than black pepper, and sometimes people don't want to see the little black flecks in their food when they're cooking. A quarter teaspoon of white pepper and about half a teaspoon of turmeric, which is also, in Trinidad they call it saffron. We're toasting the spices to let them bloom, and then we're going to add the sweet potato and coat it. And then add the chicken stock. Is it all coated?
Not yet. It's getting there.
I don't know, it's being done hours. There, I'm just going to add a little chicken stock so you can get it out.
A little?
It's about 4 cups of chicken stock. And then we're going to add about the same coconut milk. So we're going to bring this up to a boil and then turn it down and let it simmer until the potatoes are cooked. And now we're going to do the plantains wrapped in bacon. This is the time that you would check for flavor, so make sure and adjust to see if
you don't need a big spoon like that.
Does it need salt or anything?
No salt.
Okay, so we're going to bring it up to a boil, and then when it does, we'll turn it down and let it simmer. Now we're going to do plantains wrapped in bacon. We need nice ripe plantains, frying plantains, and we're going to cut them to about 1 inch in width. Width. Wrap them in bacon and stick them in an oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. So Kim and Anna, while I'm peeling, I'm going to set you all to work. I'll show you. Well, Kim knows what to do.
Does the plantain have to be that ripe?
Yes.
It has to be ripe?
Because if it's the more green it is, the more starchy.
Okay.
And so when you're making this dish, there's a play on the salty and the sweet. Okay. So the riper, the better. Oh, I thought you were doing it. So we're just going to...
Just going to wrap them?
Wrap them like this. And it's better to put them in a slow oven because we want the fat to render and become crispy as the plantain is cooking.
Oh.
Okay?
Fantastic.
Okay.
So,
great.
There you go. I have more. Kim, come on, get busy.
They're kind of slippery.
Yeah, a little bit.
because they're ripe.
How
Mark,
about
feel free to come and help.
How about bacon?
I can wash your hands.
I was working on my car yesterday.
Oh, man.
So my hand.
Next time we'll make sure you have a manicure.
Nicole, how about bacon?
Sorry?
The bacon, does it have to be a certain type of bacon? Can you
No,
use?
you can use not turkey bacon. You need the fat. So we're just going to add a sprig of thyme, turn it down, and cover it until the potatoes are cooked. We're going to put the plantains in the oven at 350 until the fat's rendered and the bacon is crispy and the plantains are cooked, about 20 minutes. So now we're going to make the onion jam, which is an accompaniment to the steak. And we have thinly sliced some onions, which we're going to caramelize in some olive oil. We're going to add a little bit of thyme and deglaze the pan with some rum and reduce it. So the pan has been warmed, and we're just going to saute it slowly. And we're not adding sugar because the sugar from the onions is what's going to add the caramelization or make the caramelization. We're going to cook the rice and beans. So I've just sauteed the peppers and the onions, and I'm going to add the beans and some coconut milk. And kind of season the water a bit, season the stock, for lack of a better description. And then we're going to add the rice. I usually wash the rice to get the starch off because I don't like sticky rice.
Yes.
I like my grains.
Yes.
And then I usually do 1-to-1 liquid, 2-to-1 liquid to rice.
Yes. Makes sense.
So Kim is over here washing the rice, which we're going to add to the pot and add more liquid.
How do you make your coconut milk? You sort of peel off the coconut, right? And then you macerate them in a blender, more or less, and
crack
sieve
the
it.
coconut, chop it up,
Yeah.
and then when you put it in the blender, you do a little more water
Yeah.
than coconut and just blend it
Okay.
and strain it.
So you add water actually as well.
Sorry?
So you add water as well as.
Add water, yes.
Yeah.
And I need to check on the coconut chips. And our coconut chips. So, did you use?
That's great.
They're hot, but you want to try one? They're very good. They're easy to, very easy to eat.
Well, they're very, very good.
They're good as a snack or as a garnish. And I think they're good salty and sweet. Because we have the coconut milk in there, I'm just going to add 1 cup of water to see how.
Make sure that's enough liquid for the rice.
For the rice, correct. They're hard still, or they're quick?
I was just making sure they weren't sticking.
Did you want me to add an extra cup?
I'm going to add an extra cup of water.
Yes.
And then we're going to bring it up to a boil.
Yes.
And cover it for 20 minutes. Okay? Well,
They're not mushy, but they're...
well, let's just turn it off and leave it covered.
Okay.
And let it sit. So we'll bring it up to a boil. I'm going to add a little more salt.
Yes.
And then a sprig of thyme.
Yes.
And I'm going to deglaze the pan with some rum. And I'm going to let the rum reduce, and then we're going to have it as a condiment for the stew. So we're just going to let the liquid evaporate, and our condiment is done. The steak's been marinating since this morning. Adam prefers it if I marinate it a day ahead. This is a flank steak, and you can go to the meat department in Epicurean, and Teresa can point it out to you. The marinade is soy sauce, brown sugar, Dijon mustard, and a dark rum. And put it in a Ziploc bag and let it marinate for at least half an hour or a day ahead. And I have a griddle pan getting hot, and we're going to sear it. If you like it medium rare, about 6 minutes per side, and if you want it cooked a little bit longer, not a problem. I just took the steak out of the marinade and just dried it off a bit so that we get a good sear, good grill marks. And we're going to stick it in the griddle pan.
What's cooking Antigua? What's cooking Barbuda? What's for dinner tonight? Say it one more time now, my. What's cooking Antigua? What's cooking Barbuda? What's for dinner tonight? Everybody sing along now. Na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. What's for dinner tonight? Say it one more time now. Say something. Oh na 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 na. Cooking Caribbean. Oh na 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 na. The original. What's for dinner tonight? Sing along now, my. What's cooking Antigua?
I like to tell people to taste the soup, and then they can always add a tablespoon of rum on the top, just as a garnish or a topper. And usually the 5-year rum is usually very good, and it accompanies the soup very well.
Oh na 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 na. What's for dinner tonight? Say it one more time now. Say something. Oh na 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 na.
My family security is very important to me. That's why I ensure.
My son's safety is very important to me. That's why I insure.
I want quick, prompt, and courteous service. That's why I choose General Insurance. Why don't you feel secure and insure?
Feel secure, insure with General Insurance.
Chefs of Antigua, use Sunquick.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
It was fun working with you.
Definitely.
So we have our coconut chips that you can use as a snack with cocktails. Also a garnish for the soup, which is our starter, which is the sweet potato soup with coconut. Our main course is the rum and brown sugar marinated steak with rice and beans and plantains wrapped in bacon. And our dessert, double chocolate cookie with black currant. We also have bread pudding, raisins soaked in rum, with guava strawberry rum glaze.
Yes, exactly.
So, looking forward to doing something with you again soon.
Definitely, me as well.
Excellent.
It's been a pleasure.
And so let's eat.
Let's eat.
Sing along now, my. What's cooking Antigua? What's cooking Barbuda? What's for dinner tonight? Say it one more time now, my. What's cooking Antigua? What's cooking Barbuda? What's for dinner tonight? Everybody sing along now. Na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. dinner tonight? Say it one more time now. Say some Antigua. Oh na 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 na. Cooking Caribbean. Oh na 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 na. The original. What's for dinner tonight?